Hey everybody, welcome back to ogresspeedshop. So we're going to get into part 2 of doing the floor pans and rocker panels on the 1970 GMC. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I think where we left off last one, we had this partially welded in, this patch panel right here. Now it's fully welded in, looking pretty good. A couple of spots I need to go back and fill. I ended up making a patch panel for this because if you look at this picture right here, that was really pitted really bad, so I didn't want to leave it like that. I might be doing patch panels for this area too. I don't know yet because I don't have any way of doing bead rolling here like this. So maybe up to that edge, just, coat that really well with some paint. But other than that, I ended up taking the original piece of the floor because it wasn't rusted out. And where that big gap was at right there, I just extended it down and reinstalled that piece that was that I cut out before. So that looks a lot better now. There's no gap anymore. Still gotta grind everything down, but still gotta weld the rest of the pan in. But I've been just playing around with these areas here to get them into where I like it. And so yeah, I gotta make a patch panel back here as well. Still gotta repair wherever that piece went. Have another piece that needs repaired. I think it's over here someplace. I don't know where I put it, but it's around here somewhere. Is that it? I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. So I need to repair some of the metal on this as well, just to fill those holes that are in there and clean it up. Maybe, I don't know if I can make a whole piece like that. I don't have the tools or the talent to do that, I don't think, but yeah, those are some of the things we still need to do, and that's what we're gonna get into in this second part of this floor pan install video. All right, so the floor is fully welded in now. Still need to make some patch panels back here and one for up here. And of course I could do a kick panel one over here. Cool thing is I watched a video from OK Speed and Custom, Slick 50 Pudding's buddy. And he just did one of these. So now I got a good way of making one of these. So I gotta do that. I'm gonna have to do the same thing on that side, so I'll probably wait to do that till the floor is completely done. But yeah, just got that one piece right there, piece over here, and that's pretty much it. But everything else is done. I still don't know what I'm gonna do about the pitted area here. I may replace some of that. I may not. I don't know yet. I'm gonna grind it down a little bit and see how bad it is. But that's where we're at. We got the floor completely welded in now, so I just gotta grind it down. But I go inside for a little bit because it is 40 degrees in here right now. And it's fine with the heater on right here, but I'm trying to conserve fuel. So I'm gonna go in and warm up for a little bit, but just wanted to show that the driver's side floor is completely installed. Just needs cleaned up. So the next thing I'm gonna do is start making a patch panel for like that piece right there that goes up, goes down and up and over here to fill that. And that actually is part of the frame underneath, so that needs to stay, so it's going to be on top of that. And then repair this piece here. And either that or make a whole new one, I don't know yet. See if maybe I can make a new one. How hard could it be, right? Without any tools to do it. I think probably the best way to do this is use some, well, people like to say CAD design, but this isn't cardboard, this is poster board. But I'm just gonna stick it on there and get the shape of it basically. And just use my finger to kind of crease it where I need to make it. And we'll cut it out and make a template that way. It's kind of hard when you got an angle and a curve right here. So we just got to fill in that gap. It's basically square and then just triangular off of that. So here's our little template I made with the dirty finger basically. And I'll cut that out so we can transfer it to metal. Okay, so I cut it down a little bit here. Try to get to fit a little bit better, and that's getting pretty close. Push it this way just a hair. I think that'll work to get us started at least. Then I can trim the metal down and make it work. So that's what I'm going to use to cut my metal out. Right there. All right, so that'll do for a little patch piece. And again, this is one of those things that doesn't really matter because you're not going to see it. But once I weld it in, I can grind it smooth and make it look a lot better than what it just does now. But so that'll fill the space needed, and I can just fill it with weld. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot like good fabricating tools, but I'll definitely make this work. I can probably trim a little bit off the bottom here to bring this corner down right here. But other than that, I think we'll be good on that piece. And what else? We gotta do something over here still. And oh yeah, that piece that goes right here. So that piece, so this piece here goes to here is what actually bolts the cab frame to the cab. So it's definitely something I want to have in there, but I want to fix these holes and see about getting rid of some of this pitting. I could probably make this in sections. I can make this piece here, that angle piece right there, make it one piece, and then do this side flat with the round corner, and then just this piece bent over here. I don't know, we'll figure it out though. But we got that one done. Good enough to be burned in and then cleaned up afterwards. So just so you all know, I don't even have my heater going right now, but it is only 35 degrees in here. Freaking glare off of there, but about 37 maybe. But either way, see the things I go through for you guys? It's freezing out here. But as long as you stay working, it's not too bad. But probably kick the heater on here a little bit, warm the duct up, and get this thing burned in. All right, we got that all burned in now. Just gotta grind it down, make it look nice. And I got the heater going because, like I said, it's cold in here. So, clean that up, start making some other pieces. But for now, we got that part done. All right, so just wanted to show you the progress we're making so far. And cleaning it up. But also want to show you something else as to why I'm not too concerned about the way it looks. Because in the end, you ain't gonna see it anyways. So you have to get down in here to look at it. I mean, I'm gonna clean it up, but still, it's not something that needs to be perfect, in my opinion. I just want to get this truck on the road so I can drive it again, or drive it first time. But that's what we're doing. I mean, we're just making it so we can drive it. So what we're gonna try to do here is make basically a template for one piece that I'll have to trim out and bend. So I'm just gonna kind of draw it like that and roll the pieces as I go. Have to go like that. Get that curve in there, even though that's gonna be different. We'll flip it up like that. Come out and roll it down. All right, so let's just basically get the basic shape of it. So it gives me an idea of where to cut some metal to hopefully be able to bend it looking like that. It's an experiment, so I've never tried this before, but hey, what I'd do for a nice CNC plasma cutter or water jet right now. I need to cut a piece that's about 10 by 6, so I'll go 11 by 7 just to have extra. And all my metal is on that shelf up there, but I got the ladder right there, so I can go right up there and cut everything right from there. It's pretty cool. Just so you know, this morning when I came out here, it was 27 degrees in here, and I had this running for a little bit to warm it up, just in this area. You gotta realize this only warms up about, I don't know, it warms the shop up pretty decently, but mainly the area where it's pointing at. So yeah, it was 11 degrees this morning, and it's 19 out right now. So, yep, it's cold. All right, so as I'm cutting this out, it dawned on me, I kind of went the wrong way with this. So, everything's good as far as this stuff here goes, but this section here where I rolled it this way, needs to be rolled this way instead. So, but I think I got enough material left here. So, because if I go up and then roll it around, it comes out to right about where it's at. So I'm glad I went that extra inch on cutting out the metal. But, so this template needs to be like changed and modified just a little bit to where this extends out that way, I think. I think that's where we're at. So yeah, so yep, that needs to go that way. It'll be all right, so all this section right here just needs to go away, kind of, because this is going to bend up. So we'll have like a 90 right here, and then this piece right here will come off and flip up and all that good stuff. I don't know. Well, it's what we're trying. So I think that might work. Hard part's gonna be leaving this together. This has gotta be cut through here in order for this piece to bend up to this piece. I don't know. Like I said, I'm shooting from the hip here and just kind of trying to figure it out as I go. But we'll get it figured out. We'll cut this out, see what we can do. So I don't think there's any way I can make this work to bend this piece up and around. That's going to go like that. This piece here will bend 90 degrees up. And if I do that, then only like a corner of it right here would be attached to fold this up. So just two pieces and I'll fold this up and around once I get this section done. I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be is basically what I'm saying. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the vise and bend this over. And why do I always laugh when I say that? But anyway, so basically we're going to just create it like that and bend this up. So it needs to come this way. Actually, you know what I want to do? It's got a little bit of a radius. Actually, it's not too bad. Should be just make it work that way. I don't think I have anything small enough to do that, so it's going to bend her over. God, I keep saying that. It's going to bend it over. Don't worry, I am going to invest in a sheet metal brake soon. However, a friend just came out there with a brake that goes in your press. And I'm probably going to buy one of those too. Do a little thicker metal that way, but you can also do sheet metal. But I do want to get a finger brake of some sort. So, I've got to work. Yeah, so that's fitting in there good. We got to do a little curve down here to match this. So we'll probably have to trim a little bit out of that angle. See where we're at a little bit here. It's hard because we got extra stuff on here, like the nuts and everything. But yeah, we need to put a little arch in here, which will bend on a socket probably to find that. I'll find that radius and I'll bend it like that. So we'll figure it out. We got this. So a lot of times when I'm doing these projects, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. So a lot of times I don't film it, but I'll definitely go back and explain exactly what I did. So for this curve right here, I just discovered that a 1-inch socket fits the radius pretty good in there. I need to get me a radius gauge is what I need to do. One of those pieces, you know, those little stencil things with the radius gauges. And so that worked out really good. You can see how that matched up really nicely. And then for this curve here, I just took a pair of vice grips and clamped this together and then bent this down over the form of the original. And if I can get it off now. So that created that edge and that bend. So overall, you know, looking at that piece, we're doing pretty good, I think. So yeah, there's a sliver here that needs to be in there, but I can do a little tiny piece that covers that angle and brings that all back together. So the last thing I need to do is make this piece that just goes up over, and that should be real easy because I just got this piece right here, and I can just kind of tack it in there and just bend it up over to form to that curve. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so for that curve, I found, what is this, an 1 5/8" socket. Fit that curve pretty good. So I got it started on that bend right there to start matching up to that. So that I could probably just start tack welding it on there and bringing it around till it completely takes up that angle. So I think that'll be pretty good. And just cut it off to the size it needs to be. Should probably do that first, that way I don't have to worry about dealing with all that extra material. So yeah, we're getting there. All right, so we got this piece pretty much made now. If you look, this is the original rusty one with all the holes in it, and this is the one I made. I didn't show a lot of it, but you know, I showed you the basics of cutting out the patterns and everything. And then I just went through and welded it up and welded this piece on. I welded on the inside mainly so I could grind it off and look at it. You know, the outside is looking good, but it all gets covered up by the rocker. I'm gonna grind that down a little bit, probably get the band file in there and grind it down a little bit just to clean up those welds. But I wanted the backside to look good because you'll be able to see that if you look down in the cab corner on the inside of the truck. Same with some of this here, but you know, I wanted the outside flat because that's where the rocker panel is got to sit flush. So, but yeah, that's the finished product right there. So now you just got to weld it onto the truck cab over here. I left a gap because the original had a gap down here, so I built it so when it's welded in, there's a little bit of a gap underneath there. So it'll get pulled in when you tighten down those bolts. I'm basically going to take a little bit more material off this edge here just to bring it out a little bit further because it was a bigger gap. So that's where we're at. We're getting closer with this piece and getting closer to being done with this side. All right, so I got it all set up, ready to burn in. All right, so that is completely permanent now. So just got to grind it down and clean it up. If you look over here, there's a gap, but that's the rocker panel actually goes through that and fills that gap. Up here, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet because I know part of the rocker, that area right there covers up to this point. So I'm gonna have to do some trimming on that. Over there, it appears that it's actually attached to the cab up here. So I might fill that in too and make it look, or make it, you know, get rid of that little gap right there. So just on this side, because this side has to be covered by the rocker. Here, I'll show you. See how that gets tucked in behind there? But on that side, there's actually like something filling that in the back side of it. So I don't know, we'll figure it out. I guess, I don't know. I gotta look at that side again just to be sure, but yeah, we're almost ready to put the rocker on, which is kind of cool. Well, we got that corner done now, so we can go ahead and get this rocker fitted. I know there's a weld in that corner right there, but you're not gonna be able to see it. It gets covered completely up with the rocker. So that ain't a big deal. I think I'm gonna drill holes in the cab itself and weld it from the inside to do these tacks back up here that were originally on here. And that way, there's no holes in the outside of this. And on most of the areas I'm gonna have to do, maybe I'll do some tacks here from the inside as up underneath there. So I'll have to do these ones from the outside. So I have to drill some holes in here to do some plug welds. And same without in this, around the back side here. We'll get more into that once I get it up there. I gotta drill some holes because we're gonna do some spot welds out through here that will weld up into this area here. So just a few holes through that area. I'll probably seam seal that after that, like through the, down in the crack. I'll show you here in a minute. Let me get it mounted up in here. All right, so as you can see with that in there, and that gap comes back, that's where your seal goes for your door, downside here. But I'm gonna see if I can get some seam sealer up down underneath here as well to seal that up once I weld it. But yeah, we should be pretty good with it like that. That's probably not the best view, but that's what the new rocker panel is gonna look like. So I'm gonna get it cleaned up and ready to weld and get this thing put in for good. All right, so we got the rocker panel all self-tapered in, tech screwed in, whatever you want to call it. I didn't do any on the bottom. I'm just going to use the clamp for that when I weld those. So there'll be a few holes up top that you'll be able to see, but I'll grind them down so they're, you know, try to get rid of them as much as possible. It's going to be basically the size of that screw head or the screw shank. So number 8 screw. If my voice sounds weird, it's because I'm sick too. So just be, you know, just gonna put that out there that I got something going on. But so yeah, so this will be a minimal amount of screws on the outside. This side here, I don't have any choice because I can't get behind it. So all the welds will be on the outside. So I'll have to clean those up after I get them done. But she is ready to be welded in, and I coated the, I sprayed the inside of all this with the rust reformer, so that way it's protected in the future. So now it's just time to weld. All right, and there we have it. Rocker fully installed. So now you gotta start on the passenger side and clean up the rest of this side. But yep, that's fully welded in now. Just gotta clean her up, get some paint on her, and that'll be it for that. So this is what we started with. Look how bad it looks. And this is where we are now. All new metal. Looking good. So now I got the rockers in there. We got to do some filler pieces now. And Dick's being very loud. But I already started. I made this little piece right here. It's going to fill that area to clean up that corner. But the problem is, this is supposed to be behind this bracket right here. There's a gap back here. And that piece needs to go behind it. So I need to make it a little bit bigger so it fits behind it. But as far as the overall shape for that section, I got that dialed in now. So, because this doesn't weld to this. This is part of the framing for the actual cab. Whereas this is part of the rocker, or not the rocker, the kick panel inside here. So it's part of this right here. So we have to make a filler for the kick panel down there too. I had to take a couple of days off because I've been sick. Plus it's been like in the single digits here. And, but just mainly because I've been sick. But so that's that piece. I just gotta extend it out a little bit so it goes behind that bracket. So I'm not welding it directly to it. Although it wouldn't be a bad thing, I guess, but I'd rather keep it kind of close to being more original. So just want to show you how, you know, I made that. I just used, I don't know, just cut some pieces and started trimming and fitting and bending over this thing. And, you know, I got my round portion of it too here. So I have that I've been using. So it's just a matter of forming it till it fits. And so yeah, so now I'm just gonna add a little bit of material to this side of it. It fits on the inside and should be good to go. All right, so this is the final patch piece I came up with for this area here. It goes in there like that, brought it up, and it'll fill that hole the way it needs to once I get it welded in and in position. So that's what we got for that. And then after that, we'll get this kick panel piece done. So as per usual with me, after I got that piece made and welded in, I decided it wasn't good enough. So I wanted to make a bigger patch panel for this kick panel here. So I cut more out and cut the part of that piece I just put in there, and this piece down here is still part of that original. So now I gotta make a full kick panel piece for the bottom, and I think it'll be a lot easier and end up being a lot cleaner and nicer once I'm done. So that's what we're gonna do now. Yay. Gotta trim some of this off down here too, but yeah, now I can just go flat piece across and it'll take care of that whole area. Rather than all this weird stuff over here, even though I already did it, but to try to fit another piece to look good on that corner, it just wouldn't have worked out too well. So this is what we're doing. So we're gonna get some CAD out, some cardboard aided drafting with poster board, and make a template so we can cut a piece for that. All right, so I cleaned that corner up a little bit more to make it nice and neat for a new piece. A bunch of stuff I gotta clean out of there, but now I should just be able to put a flat piece straight across there, just with the angle of that on there, and it should work out pretty good. So, like I said, let's make some templates. All right, so we're gonna get this in here and start getting a shape going as far as what we need to fill this kick panel in. So using the good old cardboard aided drafting here to get our initial shape. Get the scissors. Took my watch cap off earlier, now I'm cold. I'm gonna keep the bottom flat, definitely need to trim a little bit more in this area down here. Still a little bit more right there. That's what it is, need a little curve right here on this corner. A little bit more. That looks pretty good. Got a marker so I can mark the back side here. It's obviously way taller than what it needs to be, but start out with what we have here and kind of go from there. I need to make it a little bit longer going this way to fill this little gap right here, but I don't know yet. Maybe not. All right, I like that. So let's go ahead and make a mark here. So the top of it's going to be dirty finger and crease on that will be good. So between the dirty finger and a crease, should be good for the top. Pretty good, a little bit of trim right here. Basically get us close to where we need to be. And honestly, when I get it's easier to make it a little bit big and then get the metal to fit, in my opinion. Just gives us a basic idea of what the sizes are, what the piece is gonna look like. So we got a little extra material on the top. Okay, something else we need to add, because this area right here actually bends down and goes out. We can be quiet. So in this area here, we're gonna need a flap on that edge right there to go under, to go out and form the floor pan out there. So for here, we're gonna have to make a little flange as well to go around here to fit this. So it goes down, kind of, angles into the door frame here. So definitely need to be cleaned up a little bit, but we're getting a lot closer to getting this in here. Got some chunks down there need to be cleaned up. If you want to see a real pro do this, go check out OK Speed and Custom. That's if you ever heard of Puddin's Fab Shop, that's his buddy Slick 50. And he just did one of these and did an outstanding job. Way better than what mine's gonna look like. All right, I think that's gonna work. So let's get it transferred to metal by adding those pieces on there as well. I'm just going to transfer this over to a piece of metal, leaving that extra. This is the top of it, we don't have to worry about that. But leave some extra here and extra here just because I don't know if I need a flap here too, but I definitely need one here. So we're going to add some extra to that. Got that transferred, so just got to cut it out. All right, so we got the general pattern cut out now. So that'll fit up in there. Like so. We just gotta bend these tabs over so they can come out and come onto this piece right here. And I'll probably do some trimming on that at some point too, because it's not gonna quite. I think I got a little too much on there probably. So, but first things first, let's get that bent over. And this side here, I'm not sure if that's even gonna be staying. That needs to go down, I guess, maybe, but not quite a 90-degree angle by the looks of it. And since I don't have a metal brake yet, we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way, just hammer it down over a corner of the table. All right, let's see if this fits at all. Yeah, that's what I thought. See, there's definitely some areas that need to be trimmed. So up in this corner here, and probably down in this corner here. All right, so we got her fitting up pretty nice now. I'm just gonna do a flange over here on this edge to bring it in, and trim it out the top, on the top here. So that's all that's left. It should fit in there pretty nicely. So let's do the flange first. So what we're gonna be using is this Chief flange maker tool thingy. Works really well, I like it. I don't know, hopefully the flange will be big enough, but if it's not, that's all I got. I don't have a bead roller yet, so that's what we're using. All right, so we got that flange put on there now. You can see a little dip in there. The little Chief thing from Harbor Freight works pretty good. I think it was like 30 bucks maybe. I have to look to be sure. Don't quote me on that. Now this fits in here. So you can go down over that little lip there. I can't get it as big as that one, but it'll be good enough, I think. So, yep. Now I just gotta trim the top to get it to fit. And we can weld that thing in and be done with this. All right, we got that piece finished now. You can see it left a good welding gap. That's actually a little bit bigger than what it actually is right now, but you can see we fit in there pretty good. So I think it's time to make it permanent and be done with that side. Okay, so we got this piece fully ready to go in. I just painted the underside with some rust reformer to make sure that part doesn't rust. Even though this entire area up through here is probably going to be rusty, but you can't really do much about that without taking the whole thing apart, which I'm not going to do because it's not really necessary. But as far as the rust that stands out, we'll replace it, get that in, get that all buttoned up. Then this side will be finished, and we can start on the other side. And there you have it. The patch panel is completely welded in. Just gotta grind her down and clean her up. Like I said, this isn't gonna be perfect, but I'm doing what I can. And I'll seam seal all the rest of it. Down through here, it'll be seam sealed. But overall, I'm happy with it. There's no more rust. Once I get it cleaned up and ground down, it should look a lot better. And then paint it, and then, yeah. So this side's pretty much done. I just gotta clean up the welds. Now, for all of you that are still watching the video, should I replace these panels back here from the pitting? It's pretty deep pitting, but you know, they're pretty much flat, so it'd be pretty easy to fix. I just can't do this portion of it, the actual bead, but most of this other stuff I can easily make. So should I replace that metal too? Let me know down in the comments. But as far as I'm concerned, all the metal fabrication and repair is done on this side, with maybe the exception of doing those pans. So I'm happy. All right, so we got the pan completely in. We got most of the areas ground down. There's a couple areas I gotta go back through and weld, but overall, I'm happy with it. A lot of places I'm just gonna seam seal anyways, so I'm not too worried about it. Through some rust reformer, this will turn flat black here in a little bit. And when that happens, I'll come back and show you the finished result. All right, so the rust reformer is dried now, and it's looking pretty good. So that's gonna go ahead and finish this out. So let me know down in the comments if you think I should replace these panels here. Now that you got the, you can see a little bit more of the pitting with the rust reformer on there. Think it's worth replacing or not? I don't know. I'm just planning on driving this truck. It ain't gonna be a show truck or anything. I left that unwelded because if I'm gonna replace that, I didn't want to weld it and then have to cut it again. But so that's where we're at. So that floor pan is done. Now I gotta move on to that side and do all that, but I'm not gonna record all that because it's not really worth it. You've seen it on this side, and that's good. I'm taking the padding out from the firewall there because, well, I caught her on fire. See right there? I was grinding. I was planning on replacing it anyways. I just hadn't taken it out yet, but it definitely needs to be replaced. It's 50 years old. So that's why that's out on the floor over there, because I caught it on fire. All right, that's gonna do it for this video on replacing the floor pan and rocker panels. Part 2 of the floor pan and rocker panel replacement. So if you like this video, leave a like down there. Leave me a comment. Let me know what I can do better. And if you notice, I'm in a t-shirt. Yesterday, I was bundled up with a watch cap on and cold as heck. So the temperature here has changed. We're up to 63 degrees. Yesterday it was high at 37. The day before that it was 17. I think the day before that it didn't even make it out of 10, out of the single digits. So thank God we're back into some normal weather, some warmer weather. So it's easier to work out here. I'm getting over my sickness as well. So again, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you being here till the end. Let me know about those panels, if I should replace those or not. So until next time, I will see y'all later. Hey, how'd it turn out? You happy? Man, a few words.